there's
voices4.com, right?
voices4.com, and there's every one of your favorite voice actors is, almost everyone is probably in it at one time, or they plan to be in it. I actually think she was, well, we'll talk about that later.
She knows I can't sing.
No, actually, it wasn't even that. I think it was just like, it is the most that she could do. She had to get people to volunteer to come down to Texas for it. So, because, you know, it was all nonprofit. But yeah, she's still making them. I don't know what the next one is.
Jan's pretty awesome.
She is.
Yeah.
That's like Voices for Ham.
Voices for Ham. No, I think the next one's going to be Voices for the Voiceless. And it's another thing for abuse. And they'll get a whole new array of actors for that one. But, you know, go support your local charity.
I can grunt and scream for it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Hey, there was some, like Tiffany Grant was like, y'all, I can't sing. And, you know, she wanted to do it. So we did, what is that? Some folks are born made to wave the flag. What is that song?
Oh, CCR.
Yeah. CCR, and it's
Senator's Son.
Fortunate Son.
Fortunate.
Okay, we redid that, just like speaking, and made like a heavy metal version. And then like one, you know, like Tiffany did a voice like a salesman, and then somebody did like a sexy, slow, like Kira Vincent Davis did like a, you know, like, and they just mixed it all together, and it sounded really like really hardcore. It was really sweet. So I mean, you don't have to sing, just you know, be in it. What?
Shatner.
Yeah, exactly. You can.
Voices for it, please.
Perfect.
I'll make a ballet.
Voices for peace.
No.
We're gonna have to negotiate.
That's right. That's right.
Oh man, those commercials.
I want to do it, so Jan, if you're listening,
yes.
call me.
Oh yeah. I know she is. Somewhere out there.
Yeah.
Well, we're on YouTube, right? 92.
Let me give a quick call here.
So, any more questions?
I got one for Steve. So you know, Marvel got bought out by Disney, right?
Yes, they did.
And you were Wolverine before and after that time. So I was going to ask if you noticed any difference in your experiences.
Wow, that's a very good question. I have to watch my language now.
Disney-fied.
No, honestly, there's really no difference from my perspective. Wolverine is Wolverine. And so far I haven't really worked on any Disney-backed productions of Wolverine that I can talk about. So, but basically, we're all hoping that they're going to honor the legendary status of the X-Men and the Marvel characters, and to the point where they'll let us be what they've always been. And, you know, I have faith that Disney's going to do that. I think they'll do the right thing and they'll do that. And I don't think they would have bought Marvel if they intended on changing everything. I mean, Wolverine with a Mickey Mouse hat, it just wouldn't last very long. It snicked it away in moments, yeah.
Just with the middle claw.
Yeah, so I don't know what any of the repercussions of that are going to be right now. It's still, so many of their shows are still in the negotiation process. And they're still trying to figure out all of the documentation from all the shows that have been owned by other franchises. So we'll see what happens. But hopefully I'll still get to be Wolverine and do it as we've always done it. So.
Hope so.
Yeah.
You've done a good job so far.
Thanks, bub.
So,
Steve, how did you enjoy voicing Tom from Toonami?
Oh, I love voicing Tom from Toonami.
I miss Tom.
You miss Tom? I miss Tom too.
I miss Toonami.
You guys know Tom from Toonami?
Yeah, I knew you were Tom.
Well, I don't know. I mean, some people just didn't tune into the blog, but I didn't really know how big Toonami was at the time, and I didn't know that really until a couple of years ago, because we recorded in a dark little studio in LA. I recorded on the phone with guys in Atlanta. They told me what to say for everything, other than, you know, a few things I would ad-lib, but most of the time I had no idea what I was talking about. And then, you know, it aired. I never really watched much of the block. I saw a few of the interstitials and, you know, some of the interactive stuff that they did for the fans. I did see a little bit of that footage, but I just had no idea the reach of that until a convention a couple of years ago where a boy in the audience stood up and said that I raised him, because, you know, he came home after school every day, and he said that Toonami was really, you know, integral and part of that whole generation. And just to be a little tiny piece of that was really cool to hear, you know, and my only hope was that I didn't cause any permanent damage. Yeah, but it was awesome, and it was so sad when it stopped.
Your final thing made me cry.
Oh, made me cry too, dude. We were in the studio, and I was on the phone with these guys, and these guys are tough. pastors that play video games, and they're tough dudes. And we all had kind of a moment of silence, and I think we were all sort of silently crying to ourselves that it was over. We just weren't expecting it to end that suddenly. We knew it was going to happen at some point. We just couldn't get the programming anymore. But there is sort of a resurgence now, a little viral thing happening. And there's a website that just started up called Neo Toonami in January of this year. And they're trying to get a hold of the guys in Atlanta to see if they'll be interested in getting Cartoon Network behind getting Toonami
More
going
cartoons
again.
instead of those live action.
Well, yeah, well, they'll see. I don't know what they're going to be able to do. I don't know if they're going to be able to pull this thing off, but they actually have new designs for a new Tom. They've got a guy who's going to be voicing Tom for a while in the meantime. And all the way. No, but I want to support this guy because he's a cool kid. A lot of these guys are fresh out of school, and there's some brilliant animators behind this. They're coming out of school, and they've already made new designs for Tom, and a new ship, and a whole new universe for it. And they've got some really big plans, so I hope it goes. I really hope it goes.
Stay gold, Tony.
Stay gold. Bang.
Yes.
I was wondering if you could do impressions of each other.
Oh my gosh. I don't think I can get my voice that way.
Brett, now.
Oh my god, I don't know.
Want a taco?
Yes. Now, the one that I was hearing for a long time, there's two that I hear a lot of. One is, finest wares in Ozamar. That's one. Oh. And the other one is, oh, thank heaven.
Yeah. I want to see you.
Oh my God.
I had such plans, Steve, because I have another friend, Marcus Swint, that does a dead on you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he used to, and I kept going, dude, you gotta come down. Wow. Just so the three of us can sit and we'll just make you punch us. Hey, Steve, how's it going?
That would be pretty fun, actually.
Yeah.
That would be sort of payback, because I used to go to Disneyland and do the voices of the Disney characters behind the guys walking around, just to freak them out. They could never turn around fast enough.
I love that.
They used to walk up behind Goofy.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome. Okay, you're now my new hero. That's beautiful.
Well, and it's fun for me because we were both slightly the same vocal types. Because usually all I'm doing is making fun of Spike Spencer, Vic Mignogna, Greg Ayers, which is all the same thing. And I was like, hey guys, how's it going?
Yeah, well, it does.
Vic, why do you make fun of me? Because you're a tenor and you get more work than me. Okay? That's
You're
enough.
a tenor. I don't think that I can make my vocal cords that low. I don't think it's possible.
You could if you got punched enough.
Yeah. Somebody come in.
Scream some more. Scream some more and drink whiskey.
No,
And bad tacos.
I know, my vocal range has already dropped like 2 octaves since I started doing anime, so yeah, it does wreck the voice up.
And when you go into puberty, things will happen.
Yeah, and when I go into
Things will
puberty
change with
one
your
day,
body.
things will change.
Yes. I don't even know
What?
what that question was anymore. We should move on to another question.
Yeah, this is getting too
That's scary.
I know you guys have been doing.
Hold that
Go
thought.
ahead.
Wait,
go ahead,
oh,
go
sorry,
ahead.
that was an
No,
interesting
no. You can go first. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Well, I was going to say, I know you guys have been doing voice acting for years. What's your most memorable con moment? You know, you can each go.
Memorable con moment.
Con
Ouch.
moment, yeah.
Wow.
I don't want to go for it.
Yeah.
Well, I met Steve Blum. And I told him all the shows that he's in, and I really liked it, and he thought I was kind of weird.
I got cut
I
by
remember
bread.
Brett
That's my new one.
the late '90s at Akon and whatnot, and so I was just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Wow.
Like,
It's hard to pick a moment, you know, because I don't think there's a con I've been to that there wasn't a memorable moment at. You know, like every con has a new one and a new friend.
Yeah.
make a moment.
I got glomped at many cons before, and by some pretty big people. And the one most memorable one though was by this little girl. She was probably like under 5 feet tall, and she came screaming across the lobby. And I had bodyguards at this one. This is like at a big con with like 50,000 people at this con, and we're trying to make our way through the crowd. And she somehow managed to beeline in between all these people, flew up in the air, landed in my arms, and literally knocked me over onto the ground. I hit my head on the chair. I was so impressed with her. Everybody thought I'd be really pissed off. I thought, wow, that was, not only was that ballsy, but you took me out. I was really impressed.
And her name? Mrs. Steve Blum.
Do it again!
Okay, I can do two con moments. One was at AWA, the first time I met George Lowe. We were doing a panel together. I go, oh my God, Space Ghost right next to me. He's funny. I have to learn to be funny, but I don't want to be a jackass or do work too hard. So we did a panel together. This is the first time, and it was 13 voice actors. We had 1 hour, and we started from the left and went to the right. Was that right? Left and went to the right. And the first question was, how'd you get your start in voice acting? And I'm going, oh shit, here we go. And George and I were at the end. There was this, it started, and we were at the end, so we're sitting there, and a half an hour later, we're in the middle. And so, I mean, we're both like, and so I turned to him and I said, so George, how'd you get your start in voice acting? And like totally off mic. And he says, well, Brett, I started out as Popo the Freezer Pixie. And I was like, oh man, I remember that. That was like in the mid-70s, wasn't it? And he's like, yeah. And I said, man, if it wasn't for that damn Maytag repairman, you would have been awesome. And he says, well, what about you, Brett? How did you get your start? And I said, well, George, I started out as a fluffer in a low-budget Mexican And he turns to me and goes, you cannot tell that joke before me. No. Because it was just me and him. And we became friends. Because of that, we became friends.
Hold on to that joke, don't say it.
Yeah. And the actual probably best con moment was the first con, this is so cheesy. The first con that I went to was ACON 99, so it's ACON 10. And I only went because Bruce Campbell was going to be there.
Right. Yeah.
That was my first con. And it was only, I just had to drive up from Houston to Dallas. So as I got there, I met people and it's all cool. And in the artist alley, I saw this gorgeous strawberry blonde in a Ava outfit. She was the professor, the one in the white lab coat. I can't remember the name of the character. And I was like, hey, I'm a voice actor. I'm going to go on over there and talk to her. So I go over, and before I can start talking to her, I see her art. And I'm like, wow, this is really good stuff. I like the facial, the way you do the faces and the expressions. And we ended up talking a half an hour about her art. And that woman is now my wife. And what's funny about it, she said, you know what, Brett, you were the first guy to come over and not think that the dude next to me was the one that had done the art. She said, and you didn't just come over and flirt with me. I go, well,
actually, that was
to be honest, that's what I was going to do. Yeah, so total luck, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Because people see it, they're like, she married you? Yeah. Yeah, believe it or not. So.
Does she still make pretty things for you?
She does. We're doing a comic together.
It's beautiful. It is beautifully done.
Wow, that's a happy story.
Wow.
Yeah.
Actually, I have the card. Yeah, you should show it.
I'll show you
It's
my.
just,
Here, let me show you my
Yes.
card.
it's like I don't even know what kind of style it is, but it's beautiful.
Do I still have
It's
it?
really realistic. I have it. Yeah. Isn't that nice?
Wow.
It's really nice. It should
Yeah,
pass
that's
it
really cool.
around.
Look at that, guys. Can you see that?
Yeah.
It's
Here, you
gorgeous.
too. Can you see that?
Pass it around.
Yeah.
You want to hold it?
So yeah, it's a web comic, and we are, it's as you look. Wait a minute. Yes. Wait a minute.
This is the story
No,
of
don't
two...
do it yet. No. I want to get you to do that.
Oh, okay.
Because I've already done it. I've already. We're doing a Kickstarter program where you have to do a 3-minute movie, and there's me. She's talking about it. She goes, well, wait a minute, and then she walks out of the booth, and then I come in and this is the story of two dudes. That and
Wow.
now you can say it. So,
No, I can't. Not after that. You
no,
go.
I go. It's like because people go, well, what's the story about? And I go, well, this is the story of two dudes who drive from Berkeley to Providence, sleep in seedy motels, smoke too much weed, get kicked out of a Goodwill, eat terrible Chinese food, contemplate fate versus chance, piss into the sunset, start a brawl in a Waffle House, and fall in love. So, yeah.
That's my kind of story.
That is so cute.
Yeah.
It's my life, man.
I like